Okay, for those who can be able to start their Node-RED, please do so. So this is what you are going to achieve. So this is the whole thing that you're going to achieve for CoAP. So I already set up a server. I'll show you how to do all this. I just want you to see the end product before we start. We have a server. So this is the server, CoAP server. And then this server only generates a response. So this is the response. So the response that it generates is 32 degrees Celsius. That is the response. So if you send a request to this server, it will give you that response always. So this is the client, the CoAP client. So this one here, the make request is here to just trigger the client to send a request. And this is just for the display. So if I make the request, you can see on my debug, it's written 32 degrees Celsius, okay? So this is what we want to achieve. So I'll just disable this, and then we start afresh so that you're able to follow. So, so I'll name my flow. So CoAP 2, it's enabled. So the first thing you need to do is to install the CoAP nodes. So you go to manage palette. So if you have your Node-RED, just click here. Then you go to manage palette. So you click on install, and then you just search for CoAP. So if you want to see what you're installing, you just click on this. So this is the description. So it will install 3 things. That is the CoAP server, the CoAP in, and the CoAP request. Okay, so this is, so after you've installed it, you should be able to see these things, these 3 things in your editor. Okay. So I've already installed it. Okay, fine, that's good. So after we've installed, we have here, so on this left, so here you have your components. So if you just search CoAP, you see you have CoAP request and CoAP in. The CoAP server is not here, okay? There's a reason why it's not here. We'll see as we proceed. And then on this other side, you have debug. Debug is usually for the outputs, okay? So, and then you have info, but you're interested in configuration nodes. So if you click on configuration nodes, it will tell you all the what are they called? All the tabs that you have. So currently we are on CoAP 2. So on this tab, there's nothing. So that's why it's blank, yeah? All these are my tabs. And then on all floors, we have this number of things, okay? So we'll, this is important because you'll see the CoAP server will appear here as we start designing our CoAP. So the first thing is we start with the server. So I just drag the CoAP in this there. So this is the one that will generate the server for us. So when I configure the server here, you'll see that it will appear on this side where I'm hovering, okay? So just keep track of this. You'll see a server appearing here. So I'll just double click on this, and then I'll edit. So I want a CoAP server. Maybe I'll give it a name. So this is IoT class CoAP server. So I'll give it that name. So that is the name. Then I need to configure, I think I'll configure, yeah, and that is the port. And then I give it the location. So for example, I want it to measure the temperature. So the URL is, maybe I want the kitchen and then the temperature of the kitchen. So it's descriptive. So kitchen and then temperature. You can put any URL that you want. Just make sure you don't forget the name of the URL. And then the name of the server. So whatever name you give it is what it will appear here, okay? So maybe I can rename it to kitchen server, okay? So when I'm done, it will read kitchen server. So if I go back here to the configuration nodes, click on this. So you see that I have the IoT CoAP server. So this is it. And you can see if I click on it, it already has the kitchen server, which I have here. And this server one is from another flow. So flow CoAP, okay? So we are on flow CoAP 2. I hope you're following. And this is the server, IoT CoAP server, okay? So far that is what we've done. We've created a server and connected a component to it, okay? So it has two components, okay? So we need to configure a response so that if someone requests something from the kitchen server, it sends a response back. So what we'll do is we'll add a function. So here under function, just click the function button here, okay? And then connect it to the kitchen server. Okay. Then double click on the function. So maybe you can just say response, okay? I want you to send maybe the room temperature, so maybe 27. Then once you're done, you just click on done, okay? So we are done with the kitchen server and the response. Build a client that will now request something from this server and see if the server will send back the 27 degrees, which we've had coded on the response, okay? So I'll just type CoAP, and then now I drag the request, this one here, okay? Just drag it and then double click. So when you double click, you'll get this, okay? So the first thing there is the URL. So you need to put the URL for the kitchen server here, okay? But now the URL won't start with HTTP, it will start with CoAP, and then since you are running it on localhost, we call localhost. But if you have your CoAP server running over the internet, you'll put the URL here. It will still connect, okay? So I'll just, okay. Then I'll just give it the name client. Once you're done, you click on done, okay? So we need to see the output. So that means we need a node for the output so that we see, so that whatever this request gets, whatever response comes to the client is sent to the output. So that's why I just drag the debug. So just drag the debug and then connect it to the client, okay? Then we need to initiate the request. So far we need to initiate a request. So that means we need an inject node. So I'll just drag the inject node here, okay? And then I'll connect it to the client, okay? So we need to deploy and then see if it will give us the output. So just click on deploy. So it has deployed. So if you click on this, so just click on the debug node, this one, so that you see if the request will come. So if you click, so you see mine is bringing 27. I hope yours is bringing 27 also. So if I inject, if I send a request, so you send a request by clicking on this. You can maybe give it a name, make request, okay? So once I click on it, just, it sends back 27, okay? 27. I can change it to be sending maybe after every 2 seconds, after every 1 second, maybe 5. So if I deploy, you'll see that it will send the message after every 5 seconds. So there it goes by itself, okay? I can change this response to maybe give me 32. Then just deploy again and then see what happens. So it's 32. I want you to try this second part. Add a second client to your CoAP configuration. So you just drag a function. And then in the function, he has edited. Okay, so if, so maybe you can just create a variable, maybe result is the same as message.payload. And then he's used an if that is greater than or equal to, it was 25, yeah, 25, then message.payload is hot, okay? And then you have the other if else. Sorry, so you have that and that, okay? So you can add the other if else. I'm just, I don't want to repeat what he has done. And then you just add a debug mode here. Then you deploy. If you run it, oh, hot is not defined. So this one should be a string. So if you run it, you see hot, okay? So I think that is what he has done. And I think that's very good.